Hey, so I'm so glad that you came to my workshop. That is so cool. It really means a lot to me that you're here right now, and I'm so excited to have you. So welcome to this pain-free workshop. Now, I want to make sure this is the best experience that I can for you, okay? So that's why I put so much work in before this to make sure it's streamlined, and I'll be demonstrating things to you, and then we'll be doing things together. So that sounds like a lot of fun, right? In order for you to get the most out of this, I just want to make sure that you have your phone off or it's turned on silent or airplane mode, social media shut down, the door closed. That way nothing can interrupt you during this time dedicated for yourself, your body, and learning, because there's nothing more important than upgrading and learning how to take care of the only body that you'll ever get. Does that sound fair? All right, so if you need to pause me really quick to do that, go ahead and then you can unpause me and we'll keep going. Did you do that? All right, perfect. So thanks so much. I really appreciate you giving me your undivided attention and focus during this time, because I put my heart and my soul into this workshop to make sure that you can get the most out of it, because this information, what I'm going to be sharing with you today, will literally change the way that your body moves, the way you feel and perform for the rest of your life. So if you're ready with that, let's jump right in. So what we're going to be talking about today is the pain-free workshop. So ankle and foot is what we're going to be covering, and we'll also be covering a little bit of the overall strategy as well. All right. So with that, the only way to physical freedom. All right. So physical freedom is the ability to look, feel, and perform your very best. All right. So that way you can become a better partner, parent, provider, and just overall, human being. So that way you can, move pain-free, spend time with the people that you care about, do your favorite sport or activity, and just live life to the fullest without limits, doing anything that you want or even can dream of. All right. So really quick, because this is so much fun and physical freedom is different for everybody, I want you to stop right now and think of like if you were in pain, if you're not in pain, if you were just able to jump faster, be stronger, more mobile. You might even say limitless. So if you were limitless and you had no pain and you were not afraid of getting hurt, what would it be that you'd want to be able to do, right? Like, is it hiking the Grand Canyon? Would you want to be able to, hike Mount Everest, just beat someone in arm wrestling, do a backflip, or maybe you just want to walk around the house with ease, right? Like being able to pick up something off the ground, like your socks, without worrying about your back hurting, your foot hurting, and just being able to get back up easily, right? What would you want to be able to experience? Would it be the wind blowing through your face as you, skydive, or the trees flying by you 100 miles an hour as you snowboard freely down a mountain at top speed? What sports would you want to play? Would it be competing competitively, professionally, or just for fun? Like, where would you go? Where would you travel? Okay, so I want you to keep that physical freedom like goal that you have in your mind, what your lifestyle, what you want to be able to do in the back of your mind throughout this whole presentation, because that's the power of what we're talking about today. And that's what this is going to help you do, is be able to unlock your limitations, like eliminate pain, tightness, discomfort, so that way you can live your dreams and do your dreams. All right. And that's what I want for you. And that's why I'm so passionate about this workshop and what I'm going to be teaching here today, because I know that you can do it with this. I just need you to believe it as well. All right. You can do it. You can live your dreams. And that's what this workshop is going to give you the power to do, to unlock your physical freedom. All right. Because movement is life, and movement is what our bodies are designed for. So our bodies are designed to do those things, those physical freedom goals that you can imagine. Our bodies are designed like that. And, we're born, we're crawling, standing, walking, running, jumping. Then like all of a sudden life happens, and then we become immobile. We develop, pain, injuries. We just get tight from our modern lifestyles. So what we're going to talk about today is how to undo all that and get you moving naturally the way your body was originally designed to move. And this process is called movement hacking. The art and science basically of being unstoppable, limitless, and just realizing your potential. So, and the way that we accomplish that is through the movement method. And that's what the movement method does, is it optimizes your body to fight that modern lifestyle, so we can get you back to the original way your body was designed to move, so you can be physically free, eliminate chronic pain, and just become physically free. And that's what this method does, is it helps you eliminate chronic pain so you can enhance your physical freedom. All right. So what's the movement method? Well, this is kind of like how you feel before the movement method, before you optimize your body. And this is how you feel after. All right. You're just like, you're unstoppable. You can move in ways that you couldn't even imagine. So where it all started with me is I was playing bubble soccer one day, and I got hit from behind, and it just crushed my ankle. All right. So it pretty much halted my entire life. This injury like basically made my life come to a screeching halt. I wasn't able to, snowboard. I wasn't able to hike the, Grand Canyon anymore. I couldn't play basketball. I was a whole bunch of things that I loved doing. I couldn't do anymore because of this ankle injury that was just holding me back. And it really hurt all of the time. It was painful to do things. I was even afraid to try things that were new because I didn't want to re-injure it. I was afraid of having to take time back off again. Sometimes I couldn't sleep at night. My stress level was through the roof. I don't know. Can any of you relate to any of that? Did you have an injury at some point, or is the pain that you have so bad that it kind of like limited your physical freedom? Yeah, that's probably why you're here, right? Because either you want to prevent it from happening again, or period, right? You don't ever want to get injured, or you're in pain right now and you want to know if they're, how to get out of it, how to stop this from continuing. And that's what I'm going to show with you today. And during this time, I just felt like, because I couldn't do those things with my friends and with my family, I just felt kind of alone, like isolated. Like I was afraid to try things. I couldn't participate with the people that I used to do things with anymore. It was kind of a depressing part of my life because being active was such a huge part of it. And one of the mistakes I made was, kind of like ignoring it, thinking that it would eventually get better on its own. And it only actually got worse. So I started to, seek help, starting to really explore my options and try different therapies and apply all the principles that I already knew on myself, and really just like took control of my body, my physical freedom. And during this time, I realized that all the therapies, like some helped a little bit, kind of some didn't do it, anything at all. Some were just, they were all temporary. And that's when I realized that all three of these, all the therapies that existed out there really just fit inside three categories. Okay. It was Unwind, Realign, and Reprogram. Okay. So a lot of therapies that you may have tried that just gave you temporary relief at best or didn't work at all, they only did one of these three things for your body. And in order for your body to get permanent results, you need to resolve all three. Okay. And that's where a lot of therapies are incomplete. But when you can resolve all three of them, when you have the trifecta of therapy for your body, what your body needs to, move optimally, that's when it will eliminate chronic pain. And that's what it did for me. I was able to eliminate chronic pain, restore my ankle injury, prevent it from getting worse finally, and just get back to being able to do the things that I wanted to do. And interestingly enough, not only did it restore my physical freedom, but I was actually stronger than I was before. I was actually even more mobile than I was before, able to do things even better than before the injury. So it was really great. And then, so I took this method that worked on myself, started applying it to clients. And because of the results that we were getting for clients and how amazing it was helping them, we were actually featured on the news. The news came down and did a little segment, a couple segments on what we were doing in the studio, how we're helping people take care of their bodies, restore their physical freedom, and I kind of showcased what movement hacking was. So you can see we're all wearing movement hacking t-shirts. And that's what we call people who, participate in this kind of therapy, who really prioritize being proactive about their healthcare. We call them movement hackers, someone who, takes their health and actually does something for themselves. Call that movement hacking. All right. So I want to go ahead and show you a couple of videos of some of the people that we've helped and what this can look like for you. This is Donna.
Well, my position at work, I'm very sedentary. I'm in an office environment, so I'm on the computer or I'm traveling on an airplane, and as a result, have developed many aches and pains with my shoulder and my lower back. So when I would come from a long trip, I'd book a massage, try and do yoga, and that was very beneficial. However, when I came to Movement Stretch Studio, I had immediate relief. And interestingly, my massages and yoga were even more beneficial after coming here because I believe I was more limber and able to move in positions that I'm not able to do on my own without movement.
So really help Donna eliminate chronic pain from her daily lifestyle, like traveling on planes, and just enhance her performance. So like she said, yoga was easier for her because her body was in an optimal place of movement.
My position at work, I'm very sedentary.
So let's move on to Steven. So Steven's kind of an active CrossFit guy.
Yeah, so I started coming here because I was noticing my hips were getting really tight from CrossFit. It was affecting my squats, so I've been coming for the last couple months. It's definitely helped me with my mobility, better range of motion, and I'm able to squat more now, and it's really opened up my hips and loosened me up, so it's been great.
So it not only can help you eliminate pain, but it can help you move, enhance your performance as well. All right. So we're going to be talking about today is the 3 secrets to eliminate pain and become physically free that you can do. Okay. So secret number 1 is a revolutionary method that we're using right now on our clients to eliminate pain permanently by targeting the source of the pain, your movement inefficiencies. Okay. So we're going to be covering that. And I'll be showing you all about the method so that way you can take control and eliminate your pain and prevent it from happening. Okay. So secret number 2, we're going to cover how to uncover those inefficiencies that are at the root of causing your pain, resolve those root causes, and know how to stop making the pain worse. Once you know the actual cause of your pain, then you can know the things that you're doing that are actually making it worse and stop doing those. Okay. And then start doing the things that will help it, get better. Okay. So then we'll be going over live movement hacks that you can do right now at home that will speed your results, safeguard your body so that you can live a physically free, active life, pain-free lifestyle without limits. Okay, so those are the 3 secrets that we're going to be covering. So let's jump into secret number 1, which is a revolutionary method that we're using right now to eliminate pain permanently by targeting the source of the pain, your movement inefficiencies. All right, who's excited about that? So, the first thing you might be asking is, what is pain? All right. So, if you're watching this, you might have some kind of pain or chronic pain, or you want to really prevent it from ever occurring. So, pain is not damage in the body. Okay. Pain is more like a check engine light. It's more like a warning. Okay. Like there's something wrong and we need to address it before it gets worse. So it's kind of like a leaky roof. Like, initially you might have like some water spots and you're like, all right, I need to go, fix it really quick and fix the problem before it gets worse and I need to have a whole roof repair. But if you ignore it and you let it continue to get worse, it can turn into this. And then now, this lady is getting a complete roof repair and it's going to, be a huge problem that you don't want to have to address. And that's kind of what happened with me. It started off like, an injury, and then by ignoring it, it actually got worse, not better. Okay. So that's what pain is. So the next thing is like, well, what's your diagnosis? Like what kind of diagnosis you have? This is kind of a more foot and ankle focused workshop, but this applies to other areas as well. You might have, bunions, hammer toes, plantar fasciitis, arthritis, bone spurs, flat feet, Mortensen's neuroma. So we have had clients come in to the studio with all of these and leave feeling so much better. Okay. Now, these are what you may have heard, your doctors tell you that is what's wrong with you, or maybe like you researched on the internet, like WebMD. They might say like, the reason was, it's like your age or your genetics. But we like to look at what's really causing it, especially when you're having an issue, like on one side of your body, but not the other, right? Like you're having problems with one side of your foot, but not the other. So we have to think like, why is it on one side, but not the other? Because both feet are the same age, right? Both feet have the same genetics. but why did one foot develop something on one side but not the other? Okay, so that's what we like to look at. We like to look a little bit deeper. So before we move on, I want you to think about any pain diagnoses or conditions that you have right now or have had in the past, or runs in your family, because I want you to think about, like, how long have you had that for? Okay, have you been waiting to resolve it? How long has it been happening for? Now, what has it prevented you from doing that you're not able to do, or because you're afraid to do because of injury or making it worse? How does that make you feel? Does it make you angry, depressed, lonely, like frustrated, like it did me? So I want to help you, eliminate that pain, prevent it from happening. That way you can not feel angry, depressed, and lonely and frustrated, and feel great again. All right. So that's why I'm so passionate about this, is because it can help you avoid all of that. All right. So, the next question you might have is, what's the cause of pain? If pain is just a warning light, then what is the root cause? You might have heard that it's your age, your genetics, your job, but those are things that we don't have control over. Okay, so that's why we like to look at the root cause, the things that we have control over, like lifestyle, posture, activity levels. Okay, and so I wanted to share with you the number one hidden cause of pain that most people don't think about, that's inflicted on us every single day because of our modern lifestyle. It's called repetitive trauma. This repetitive trauma creates fault line cracks in our body, kind of like this earthquake crack through the ground here. It starts creating these cracks in our body, okay? And they're deep inside our body, just building up pressure, okay? And when there's enough of them, when there's enough pressure, it erupts in the form of pain, discomfort, and injury. And that's why if you don't have pain, if you've never been injured, it doesn't mean that you don't have these fault line cracks in your body. It doesn't mean there's nothing wrong. It doesn't mean that it's going to erupt at the right time when you build up that pressure, okay? It's just a matter of time. And that's why it's important to get these cracks resolved, okay? And that's why if you try pain pills or surgery, it might give you some relief temporarily, but it won't eliminate it permanently, because you didn't go back and fix those root line cracks that are still there inside your body. Okay, so these fault line cracks, they're called movement inefficiencies, and they create like a weak structure in your body. It throws it out of alignment, kind of like this house right here. When your body has these inefficiencies, it is out of alignment. It's unstable, right? Your structure is not very stable. You don't move correctly. You have weak spots. You're more likely to break down, get hurt, and you're susceptible to stress. Okay, this is an unoptimized body and structure. Okay, and there's 3 different kinds of movement inefficiencies. So these fault line cracks are called movement inefficiencies, and there's 3 different kinds. Okay, and that's what I was talking about earlier with my personal story. Is if you don't resolve all 3 of them, you're not going to resolve it permanently. And that's why a lot of therapies out there either don't work at all or only work temporarily, and the pain comes back later because you didn't resolve all 3 of them. Okay, it might feel good for now, but it didn't actually solve the problem. Okay, so there's 3 different kinds: mobility limitations, kind of tightness that holds you back; postural imbalances, things that cause you to use your body improperly; and then faulty movement patterns, just kind of patterns that you do throughout the day because of your modern lifestyle or because of your habits that you've developed that cause the pain to get worse or create it. Okay, so the only way to eliminate your pain permanently is to resolve all 3 different kinds of movement inefficiencies. And when you do that, when you resolve all 3 kinds of movement inefficiencies, you resolve the symptoms permanently. Okay, and so when you get to that root cause, you're able to resolve all kinds of things that we've had clients come in with, like back pain, knee pain, hip pain, ankle pain, shoulder, plantar fasciitis, migraines, digestive, bloating bowel movements, sleeping disorders. All kinds of problems are caused by your body's not moving properly, having tight muscles. And when you do this, when you resolve all these movement inefficiencies, it unlocks your body's ability to self-repair, to heal itself faster. Okay, you enhance the blood flow, the oxygen, and it helps your body be able to get into a state of peak performance. Okay, when your body is resolved, when everything's in alignment, when your body's moving the way that it should naturally, this is the peak state of performance. So it helps you, you will eliminate pain, and you'll be able to enhance your performance to do the things that you want to do to the best of your abilities and really just unlock your potential. Okay, so you might be wondering, like, what's optimal for me? Like, what does optimal movement look like for me? So we talked about earlier about, like, bunions. So all these different, inefficiencies with the body create, pain, inflammation, all kinds of dysfunction. So what optimal, foot looks like is right here. We have a normal foot, and I'm going to go ahead and show you a little bit here. So with your foot, a lot of times our shoes will kind of squish our feet together, which create these widened foot right here. Okay, so because our toes are being squished by our feet, it causes the outsides of our feet to kind of like swell. Okay, putting pressure where it shouldn't be. All right, so when we optimize the movement, for instance, if you, let's say your feet, your toes are able to spread a little bit wider like they're supposed to, it doesn't put that pressure on the outside, allowing your foot to be nice and straight. So you can see right here that when when the toes are kind of being squished inward, it's putting pressure on the outside here. But when the feet are straight, okay, it's nice and straight, there's no pressure. Everything is working the way that it should. Okay, so this is an example of an area that is unoptimized, that when optimized will eliminate a lot of issues associated with the foot being out of alignment. Okay, this is what our body is designed to do. It's designed to move. Okay, and because of our modern lifestyle, sitting on the computer, looking down at our phones, we're not using some muscles enough. We're overworking other areas. This repetitive trauma on our bodies from our lifestyle creates the different pains that we're experiencing. So the next question you might be wondering is, how do I eliminate this pain? What do I do about it? You may have tried, taking pills or getting injections, and that only, covers it up, temporarily at best, because it doesn't get to the root cause, your movement inefficiencies. You could try, getting life-threatening surgery. But even if you do, it's not going to get to the root cause. It's not going to resolve your movement inefficiencies, and they'll still be there. Those fault line cracks will still be there when you get back. Okay. Now, sometimes people, like me, like you try just taking time off. You're like, well, maybe I'm overworking my body. Maybe I just need to take time off and let it rest and recover. And this can actually make it worse, because your muscles will get even more tight, pulling you out of alignment even further. Your body will get even weaker, creating even more of a weak structure. So this actually makes it worse, and it's dangerous. Okay. Now, another option, and this is one that is very similar to taking time off, is you're like, well, maybe my body's getting old. Maybe my genetics aren't made for this, and you start limiting yourself more and more. Okay, like your favorite sports or activities, you're like, well, let me just limit myself, because when I do that, it causes pain. Okay, and I don't want you to have to do any of that. And that's why it's so important for you to understand how to get to the root cause of your pain, so we can avoid all of this. I don't want you to have to take time off if you don't want to. I don't want you to have to avoid doing the things that you like to do, doing your favorite movements. That's what life is. I don't want you to have to, do, life-threatening surgery that won't even solve the problem, or take pills or injections. Okay. And that's what the movement method is all about. It's about unwinding, realigning, and reprogramming your body so you can move optimally. Okay. Now, there are lots of clients that we've, helped doing this, and I want you to be, the next one. All right. So with that, let's move into secret number 2, which is how to uncover your inefficiencies causing your pain, resolve the root cause, and know how to stop making the pain worse. Okay, so let's go over the 3 most common pain mistakes that you're doing more harm than good and making the pain worse. All right, so pain mistake number 1 is people oftentimes will focus on the area they're having that symptom, like if it's a back pain or a hamstring, or in this case, a foot or ankle pain, and you'll when there's an injury and there's a symptom in that area, oftentimes it's discomfort or it feels tight, and stretching makes it feel good. And what happens is sometimes people will overstretch that area thinking that that's the problem, okay, when there's actually something more going on. Tightness can be a symptom of something greater, okay? It might be part of the solution, but it's usually, there's other things going on that are amplifying the problem, even causing that tightness. And so I don't want you to focus on targeting the symptoms, because like overstretching a muscle or incorrectly stretching a muscle, because it can actually make it worse. So instead of targeting the symptoms, target the root cause, okay? So the root cause is going to be getting to the, instead of focusing on the tightness in your calf or back, focus on resolving those movement inefficiencies. Okay. So, pain relief mistake number 2 is overworking and strengthening, muscles, thinking that the problem is that it's weak. So if you're having pain, you're like, well, maybe I'm having back pain or foot pain because the muscle's weak and I just need to strengthen my calf. Okay. Overworking and strengthening muscles that don't need to be strengthened can actually aggravate the pain and even make it worse and throw your body out of greater alignment. So as you can see right here, instead of focusing on strengthening an area that you think is weak, you need to focus on strengthening the root cause of why it got weak in the first place. Okay. So in this case, his hips, his whole leg is internally rotating, causing, potentially having pain in his ankle, knee, hip, all kinds of problems throughout his whole body. When we get the body aligned, all in alignment, moving the way it should, a lot of those pains and tightnesses will go away. So that's mistake number 2, is over strengthening muscles that don't need to be strengthened. So I don't want you to strengthen muscles. I want you to strengthen your structural alignment. Okay. So that's what you need to focus on. Stop strengthening muscles that are and overworking them, and instead strengthen your structural alignment. All right. So let's move on to pain mistake number 3, taking time off, because this can actually cause you to be more tight and continue to get even weaker, like I said earlier. So time off makes your body weak, makes your body tight. Instead, fix the problem before it gets worse. Okay, so you need to unwind, realign, and reprogram your body. This is something that you have to be proactive about. And this is something that if you're not experiencing pain and tightness now, you eventually could if you don't solve these things that are going on in your body. So you're like, how do I do that? Well, we have a couple assessments, and this is going to get fun because we're going to get interactive here. So we're going to do the assessments for each of these: how to unwind, how to assess some mobility limitations, how to assess some postural alignments, and how to assess faulty movement patterns in your body. All right. So the first is a mobility assessment, how to analyze those mobility limitations. So this is the forward bend, and what we're going to do is, this is how it should look like. Okay. So your knees are, for the most part, locked and straight. Okay. Bending and hinging at the hips. Okay. Sit muscles up high in the ground as you bend forward, not rounding your back excessively. Okay. Now, I don't want you to keep your core too tight and really lock it down as you bend over here. I kind of want you to see how your body moves naturally. And then this is kind of what some of the things that you might be looking for. So, as you're bending over, is one side higher than the other? Okay. Is something out of alignment here? And your hips, is one hip higher than the other? Is your back here higher than the other? This, might be an example of scoliosis. Another thing is there an excessive arch in your back because your glutes and hamstrings are so tight that it's preventing you from being able to keep that nice straight back and bend down and touch the toes? Okay, so we're not just looking at how far you are from the ground, we're looking at how your body is moving as you're able to get to the ground. Okay, is it straight or is it rounded? Another thing you might be looking for is your back actually, or hamstrings, are you too flexible? Okay, because this can actually cause pain as well if you're not engaging your core, keeping your body nice and tight, and you're overstretching as well. Okay, so it's not just about flexibility here. We're looking for proper movement, proper body mechanics. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this assessment, and then we're going to do it together. All right. All right, are you ready to do a mobility assessment? So what we're going to do is simply put your hands together. Let's see here. Can't really see it. That's all right. We'll go ahead and stand facing forward. And you're going to reach down, hinging at the hips, keeping your knees as straight as possible, and see how low you can go. Okay? So I'm going to break it down for you. So Stephen is going to stand forward. And so what you're going to do is, when you start with this, the first thing you look is from the ground up. So the first thing we're going to notice is his feet. You're looking for any asymmetries. Are his feet pointed out? You'll notice that they're slightly pointed out, one foot maybe a little bit more than the other. You're looking for any imbalances in your own feet versus like if is one in front of the other, is one behind the other, does one have a different angle than the other, are they pointed in? Ideally, in a perfect scenario, your feet are pointed perfectly straight forward, okay? So you're looking firstly to identify that. So secondly, you're going to flex your quads so you keep your knees as straight as possible. And then you're going to hinge at the hips with your hands together, letting your head drop down. You're going to sink as low as you can go while keeping your knees straight at the same time. So now we're going to look and assess hamstring flexibility. You want to notice if you're shifted to one side versus the other, if one side's tighter or on the other side. We want to see how your spine moves, the curvature in your spine, if it's straight, if it's in alignment, if your hips are stacked on top of each other, if one side is higher than the other, and then we'll come straight back up. Okay, so that's how you do a mobility assessment. So we're assessing quite a bit of things from the feet to how the hips hinge, hamstring calf tightness, lower back and spine, all the way up the body. And then from there, we want to see those differences, and then those are the things that we're going to want to work on. All right, well, let's try it out. All right, so what I want you to do is start by standing straight forward, feet straight, okay? Now, you don't have to have your feet straight. Actually, let's not do feet straight yet. What I want you to do is close your eyes for a second, okay? Close your eyes right now. And start marching, okay? Like bringing your knees up as high as you can. All right. Now close your eyes, stop marching. Close your eyes. Look down at your feet, okay? Are your feet, is one foot in front of the other? Is it pointed out? Okay, is there any differences there? Check your weight distribution, okay? So are you leaning your weight, forward on your toes? Are you shifting your weight from one side more than the other? Okay, or is it all on your heels, or you're leaning back? Okay, so see how your weight feels as you're doing this. Okay, now go ahead and put your hands together and bend straight down far as you can. Okay. Without without bending your legs. Okay, how's that feel? Where do you feel the tightness at? Is it your calves? Is it your feet? Is it your hamstrings, glutes, lower back? Where do you feel the tightness, the stiffness at? And is your body moving fluidly? Are you able to get down and touch the ground? Okay, without excessively rounding. Okay, so that's one assessment that we look for to assess pain in your body, whether it's ankle, foot, knee, hip pain. We want to see how your body is mobile. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next kind of movement inefficiency, your posture. All right, so this is a front view. So your posture, we're looking for 8 load-bearing joint design. Okay, so we're looking for shoulders, hips, knees, ankles at 90 degrees. Okay, we're looking for 90-degree angles. Everything aligned, kind of stacked vertically over each other. See how this line is straight down the middle? Everything should be aligned. Everything in 90 degrees. Feet pointed forward. Okay, this is critical. And centered at spinal column. Okay, with this line right here. All right, so this is the front view. And so anything that would be wrong would be anything that's not this. So any type of asymmetry, deviations, lack of symmetry, something out of balance, your body shifted to one side more than the other. All right. And so this is the side view. So same thing, everything lined up, ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and feet all lined up vertically. Okay. So we're looking for the spinal curve. All right. So we want your body not to be leaning too far back, not too far forward. And when you come in, again, we're just looking for those deviations. Okay. So let's go ahead and kind of practice that. So what do you see on this gentleman right here? Without me telling you, I want you to look and see what deviations you can find. Let's put what you just learned into practice. Okay, so if we start here, we might notice that this left foot is slightly pointed out a little bit. His weight, if you can see the line coming up between the knees here, the belly button, chest, head, he's shifting his weight to his left. He's shifting his whole body to his left a little bit, so he's putting more pressure on this left leg. And if we look at the side view, he's also rounding forward. Okay, he's a little bit hunched back. His neck is hunched forward. Okay, this line is not going through his feet, knees, hips, shoulders, and his head. So another way you can tell he's hunching forward is that his ears are not lined up with his shoulders here. So, he might be experiencing, neck pain, back pain, a lot of things could be going on here. But that's what we're looking for. Those are the deviations that we want to resolve. We want to put the body back into, optimal alignment. Okay. Now, another one is this one right here. So you can see here, her feet are, again, so she is leaning to one side more than the other here. The line is not down the middle of her body. Her one shoulder is higher than the other. Okay, so it could be the hips as another root cause going on here. So these are postural deviations that we need to identify so that we know what is wrong and what we need to do to resolve them. Okay, and everyone's body is different. Everyone has different things going on. And one of the ways that we do that in our studio is a 3D body scan. We do a 3D body scan to get a 3D virtual image of your body that we'll email you. It kind of looks like this. So we'll be able to compare the progress as you continue making progress with your body movement and alignment. Okay, so it's important to be able to have accurate data for your alignment. And that's exactly what this, our 3D body scanner that we have does for the clients that are involved in one of our programs. So the last assessment that I want to go over, and we're going to actually do this one really quick if you have room, is assessing your movement patterns. Okay, so this is kind of how we assess and break down the way that you walk. Okay, so right foot, left foot. And a big part of this assessment is the foot strike, which we'll get into a little bit deeper here, but we're looking for variations in the way that you walk. Okay, like one shoulder being higher than the other, hips not being in alignment, one hand moving from one side to the other. And then, so let's go ahead and I'll break it down in this video. All right, so we're going to be doing a gait assessment now. So with the gait assessment, you want to pay close attention to the hips as well as the foot strike because it's a vital part of this assessment. So with a foot strike, you want to go heel, ball, and then toe as you go to the next foot. Okay, so that's what you're looking for in a perfect foot strike. So I'm going to have Steven go ahead and face away from the camera. We're going to walk. He's going to walk there and back. Now, what we're looking for is how the feet move, how his hips move, even his upper body. Okay, we're looking for perfect alignment. So let's go ahead and walk there and back. So we're looking at the feet. Are they turned out when he walks? Is it walking heel, ball, toe? Are his arms moving to the side of his body? Are his shoulders even? Okay. Do his hips look like they're even? So let's go ahead and do it just one more time. Sometimes when you do it the first time, you might notice something. The second time, you'll really be able to pay even more closer attention to it. Okay, so as you see Stephen, his feet are slightly pointed out, hands move freely. One side seems a little bit tighter than the other one. Is this your tight shoulder?
Yes, it is.
So this shoulder, because one arm was moving more freely than the other side, it led me to believe there's something going on there. And it so happens this shoulder, he's had previous injury, so it's a little bit more tighter. So on that side, it's going to create an inability for his arm to move as freely as the other side. So that's what you're looking for in this one, is just anything that looks unoptimized, anything that looks asymmetrical, feet, hips, how the hands move, shoulder alignment, and then from there we can continue to see what is going on in the body and address those issues. All right, so what I want to do is, all right, so we're going to be doing, have you practice that, okay? So before we practice it real quick, I want to just kind of break down another thing that I want you to look for while you're doing it, is I mentioned the foot strike. So when you're walking, you want to go heel, ball, toe, okay? So starting with the heel, shifting to the ball, going to toes, and this is kind of the pressure zones that you want to be ideal. Okay, so you don't want your foot to go inward. You want it kind of to be on the outside of your foot here, then the ball of your foot, and then toes last. Okay, so the strike will look like this, where you go heel, ball, toe with this pressure. Okay, so this is kind of what it would look like. This is the foot angle here. This is what it looks like. So you can see he's going heel, ball, toe. So his foot strike looks fine. You are noticing, so this is one angle that you'll be able to see. This is, let's see here. This is the side view. Go. Okay, so go. What I want to do is have you practice that real quick. All right. So what I want you to do is, if you have enough space, just simply walk fluidly, okay, forward and back. And remember, start by looking at your feet and seeing if you see any asymmetry in your feet to begin with. And then as you walk, see if you can feel one shoulder, moving higher than the other. If your arms are not, if one hand is higher than the other, and sometimes you might have to get someone else to observe you. Obviously, if they are professional, they know what they're looking for. It's really helpful. But otherwise, if you're just wanting to, see if you can find something, if it's there, before you try to find what the root cause is, then someone can just simply point those out for you. And then if you need more help, you can come see a professional and we can help you dive into the root cause and help you resolve those. So really quick, go ahead and do that. Just walk there and back, one way, then the other. And just be really paying attention to how your feet are moving. Okay, are we going heel, ball, toe? Or are you just walking like this? Okay, pay attention to how your body feels. All right. You can pause this and then do that, and then come back when you're ready. All right. So that was secret number 2. Let's move on to secret number 3. Physical freedom. Secret number 3. How the right movement hacks will speed up your results, help you get better, faster results, and safeguard your body and really bulletproof it. So that way you can eliminate pain permanently and live a physically free, pain-free lifestyle without limits. Okay, and the way we do that is through the movement method. And those movement hacks are things that optimize the body. So the different strategies, tools, tactics that we use inside the movement method to optimize the body to get those results. And the people who do movement hacking that participate in this movement method, we call them movement hackers. Those that optimize their body and are proactive. So let's look at a couple things that you can buy, kind of movement hacking tools that you can buy to help your foot and ankle move better. Okay, optimize your movement. Now, optimal movement or optimal, kind of shoe support is less is more. Okay, in the beginning, depending on your issues, you might need, a certain amount of support. Toe pacing socks, orthotics. Okay, but you want to gradually transition away from those as your body, as you learn how to maintain that optimal movement without those things. Okay. And replace them with things that support your optimal movement naturally. Okay, so with your feet, you want your shoes to be, more flat feet, flat shoes, wide spacing, so the toes can wide spacing, so the toes can spread. Okay, flexible, that way you can go heel, ball, toe. Okay, if the shoe is too stiff, sometimes it's hard to actually be able to get that foot strike that's optimal. Okay, so go barefoot. The barefoot works, and that's why. And I encourage you after this, if you have time, Google shoespiracy. You'll learn so much from that. And then eventually being able to transition out of orthotics gradually, not needing them anymore. And a really good tip, depending on what you have going on with your feet, is toe spacing socks. Really help to support that spread of your feet that I'm talking about. That spread, especially if you've been wearing shoes that have been cramping your feet for a very long period of time. And these are shoes that you can wear that help support that toe spread and help help your feet have individual spacing. Okay, so definitely would recommend shoes that are more barefoot. So a place you can go to is lemsshoes.com to get naked shoes. Now, I'm going to show you a tip that you can do if you have someone to help you. Okay, now this is one of the movement hacks that we do in the studio because stretching is very vital and important. And I'm going to show you right after this a bunch of things that you can do on your own. But sometimes when you're on your own, there's certain things that are hard to get to, and this is one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do an assisted hamstring stretch. All right, so we're going to do a hamstring stretch. So what we're going to do is lay flat on the ground facing up. You're going to bring your foot straight up, flex your quad to keep your knee as straight as possible. Okay, so try to keep that quad flexed. And then from there, pull your leg as far as you can. Then interlace your hands behind your hamstring, trying to keep that quad flex at the same time, pulling your leg as far as you can. Now, what you want to be aware of is how far this knee is coming up. You want to try to keep this knee down, okay? Keep this knee straight, and keep your shoulders and head flat on the ground, keeping your core tight so your body doesn't compensate in any way, okay? Also keeping your foot straight like that. You don't have to flex it as far as possible, just have it nice and straight. All right, so this is a hamstring stretch. This is really important for a lot of different reasons. Now, with this one, sometimes it's difficult to get a deep stretch, especially if you have really tight hamstrings. So in a perfect world, if you have someone that can do it for you, you'll start with having the hand on the heel. And this is called an assisted stretch. Okay, we do a lot of that for our clients so that we can get in the areas that are difficult to get on yourself, not impossible, but difficult. So you're going to start by placing your hand behind the knee, just leg straight, and then we're going to slowly push forward till I feel a little bit of resistance. How's that feel? A little bit more there, or is that good? Okay, so with that first point of resistance, you're going to stop, let the body ease into it, and then ask permission to proceed a little bit further into the stretch. It's about right there. Keep going. Okay. All right. So this is called an assisted stretch. Okay. So now if you have, someone that can do this for you, that's what you want. Or you can come and get a professional to do it for you. That way we can go in a little bit deeper and address different issues going on
with your body. So if you can start by stretching yourself, if you need to go deeper, then you'll need to look for a professional to help you out with that. All right, so we're gonna do a hamstring.
All right, so if you're watching this with someone, or maybe you can do this later, grab a partner and you can do that assisted stretch that we just showed you. Now, this is very relevant for a lot of things. Hamstrings tie into your lower back, so it can cause back pain, back tightness, can cause your walk to be off if you're tight on one side more than the other. It can also tie into your calf and feet, so it can affect the way that you walk with your feet, causing ankle pain as well. So hamstrings is a big issue for people, especially with all the sitting down that we're doing nowadays. So go ahead and do that. If you're with a partner, you can pause this and resume it. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and try out some more movement hacks that are self-based. Okay, so every time we go through this, I want you to pause it, try it out, do it with me, and that way we can. I'll show you what to do. Make sure you're doing it right, and then you can go through it. And then so after we get done with all these different movement hacking movements, I want you to then we'll reassess your body and see how you feel. If you feel more centered with your weight and alignment and everything. Okay, so let's go ahead and try them out.
All right, so for this movement, we're gonna have your palms facing up. You're gonna be going up, back, down, and around, keeping your shoulder blades squeezed and engaged the entire time, okay? So let's go ahead and break it down. So go ahead and back up. So with any exercise, you wanna make sure your body is aligned. So starting with the feet, align your feet so they're straight, okay? Grab the ground with your arches, engage your arches, knees slightly bent, core engaged. We're gonna raise your arms up straight out to your side, keeping them nice and even, being aware that you're not shrugging your traps, keeping them decompressed. Palms facing up, make a claw with your hands, okay? Because we're gonna be getting the connection in your shoulder, elbow, or your wrist, elbow, and shoulder, okay? So from there, we're gonna go ahead and engage your shoulder blades. So pinch those shoulder blades together in the back. Then we're gonna raise your arms up, go back, down, and around, and do circles. It's okay if you get a little bit of oscillation while you're doing it, that's perfectly fine. And we're doing this one slightly fast, so it's okay if you have a little bit of momentum while you're doing this, it's perfectly fine, okay? Doing your best to keep your arms as even as possible, and just feel how your body feels as your weight distribution. Is it more on one side versus the other? Is one shoulder seem tighter than the other? Kind of see how your body feels as you're doing this exercise.
All right, so go ahead and give that a try. So again, hands straight out, palms down, make a claw, and then we're gonna do up, back, down, and around, okay? Really paying attention to keep your traps decompressed so you don't shrug up, okay? Keep them down, and then do these. I want you to do about 20 of them in each direction, okay? And it's okay if you kind of move a little bit forward and backward as you do this. Just don't lean backward or lean forward. Stand nice and tall. But it's okay as your arms kind of take over and create that momentum, okay? Now, like I said in the video, key is to keep those shoulders pinched the entire time that you're doing this one, okay? So go ahead and do that right now. Now, the second position, or actually, we'll go ahead and break down each of these positions. So again, so step one, decompress your shoulders so you're not shrugging up. Step two, engage the scapular rhomboids in the back of your shoulder blades to keep those engaged and give support to the shoulder. And then step three, up, back, down, and around. The first one being palms down, obviously, okay? So now then the second one, it's gonna be the same thing, just you're gonna have your hands in the different direction.
All right, so for this movement, let's go ahead and break it down step by step. All right, go ahead and pause. Let's back up. So when you do any exercise, it's important to start from the ground up. So the first thing you want is feet to be even, about shoulder width apart, maybe about 6 to 7 inches away from each other. Start by grabbing the ground with your heels, okay? Engage your arch support of your foot. Knees slightly bent, keeping your feet straight, core engaged. Then we're gonna raise your arms up. Now for this movement, you're gonna start by engaging your shoulder blades and squeezing them together, okay? So you're gonna go from here to here, okay? And we'll do it again in a different view. And then to begin this, you're going to keep your traps down, keep your elbows straight, okay? Make a claw with your hand, palms pointed down, and then you're going to lower your arms in a small movement, only about 6 inches, down and back and around, okay? So keeping your shoulder blades engaged the entire time, all right? And one thing to really watch out for is to keep your shoulder blades down. There's a tend to compensate up, and you want to make sure that you're not wearing your shoulders for your earrings, okay? So let's go ahead and turn around and demonstrate from the back angle. Walk a little forward. So again, start from the feet, engage your arches, feet straight, core engaged, arms out to your side, make a claw with your hands, shoulders down. Keep your elbows straight and go ahead and begin. So what we're really looking for here is to feel the connection all the way from your wrist to your elbow to the shoulder and down into your shoulder blade, okay? So down.
All right, so go ahead and do that one as well. So remember, the first one is palms up, second one, palms down. All right, now the next movement, let's go ahead and jump right in. Again, pause this if you need to, if you're, so that we have time to complete each one.
All right, so for this movement, you're gonna have your hands kind of in a claw, knuckles on your temples, palms facing away from you, okay? Bringing your elbows as close together as you can without shrugging your shoulders or taking your hands off of your head, okay? So if you can only bring it this far, that's perfectly fine. All right, so let's go ahead and break it down. So let's back up a little bit. So with any movement, you want to make sure your body's in alignment. So starting with your feet, make sure your feet are perfectly straight, okay? Knees slightly bent. Grab the ground with your arches, core engaged. From there, you're gonna take your hand, the knuckles, place it on your temples of your head, and then you're going to reach around your chest and bring your elbows as close together as you can, okay? Keeping your traps down and decompressed the entire time, okay? So you're gonna feel a little stretch around the back of your back and rear delts and shoulders. And we're going to do this one breathing in on the way together, breathing out as you open it up, okay?
All right, so step one, knuckles kind of on the palm of your head. Okay, step two, make sure that you don't shrug up and really decompress your shoulders down. Step three, you're gonna rotate forward and backward, getting only as close as you can without shrugging up. Okay, so if this is all you can do before your body wants to compensate, then only go as far as you're able without having any compensations happening. All right, so go ahead and give that a try, and then we're gonna keep going. Here is the next one.
All right, so for this exercise, go ahead and bring it back down. we're gonna start by making sure that your feet are straight. Grab the ground with your arches, knees bent, core engaged. You're gonna interlace the palms of your hands, okay? And then have the palms facing away from you, shoulders down. Make sure you decompress and don't shrug. Decompress your shoulders and make sure you breathe in and exhale as you raise your shoulders up, okay? So now, only go as far as you're able to, okay? More is not better. So as you start to do it, if you raise your arms and you start to lean, we don't want that either. So keep your core engaged and only go as far as you can without leaning, without shifting your hips, okay? And without leaning back of any kind, okay? So keep that core engaged to counteract your body from compensating out of the stretch. And from here, just want you to take big deep breaths from your diaphragm and then exhale and see if you can reach a little bit deeper, which Stephen was able to, okay? So go ahead and rest.
All right, so step one, you want to keep the shoulders decompressed. Interlace your hands, okay? We're going to push it away from your body, okay? And then step two, start to raise it up. And just like the video, only go as high as you can without starting to shrug up or compensate or trying to lean back with another part of your body, okay? So just bring them up, bring it as far back as you can without letting your shoulders rise or without trying to take your whole body into the movement to get further, okay? So go ahead and do that one. And you might be wondering, why are we doing upper body movement hacks when, this is an ankle, workshop? It's because your whole body's interconnected, okay? So at the end of this, I want you to then reassess your body and see how you feel. Okay, so again, don't lean back, make sure your body's nice and straight. And then this next movement, you're gonna have to lay on the ground. So go ahead, if you need to pause and kind of reposition yourself, go ahead and do that. And then we'll resume this movement.
All right, so for this movement, what you're gonna be doing is starting with your body completely supine, so foot straight. And what you're gonna do is bring one foot up to you, so bend your knee, pull it up towards you. Now you're gonna place your hands and interlace them back of your hamstring, okay? Keeping your head perfectly straight, keeping the other leg straight. From there, you're going to do toe circles. So you're gonna curl your toes down and then bring it around and then flex them up at the top, okay? So curl them down and then as you bring it around, flex them at the top, okay? And we're gonna do both directions here. So curl them down as you go down, flex them up as you go up. Breathing in as you bring it around, okay? So breathe in. As you have to curl it, exhale. Breathe in, curl it, exhale, okay? Feeling a little stretch in your calf as you're pulling your toe, perfectly normal. You might feel a little stretch, and you'll probably feel your tibialis engage a little bit as well, kind of in the front of your shin as you're doing this motion, as you're pulling it around as well.
All right, so go ahead and do that one. And you might have to replay this if you need to, but basically you're just gonna curl your toes down as you go down and then flex them as you pull back. Okay, so curl your toes down as you push it down and then flex them back as you pull it back. All right, so we're gonna do 20 of these back and forth on each side of your body. All right, so go ahead and do that and then resume this and we'll do the next movement.
All right, so this next movement, you're gonna start with your body perfectly flat, supine, facing up on the ground. You're going to bring one leg towards you, bring one knee, interlace your hands behind your hamstring, and then you're gonna bring your foot forward and backward, okay? So what you're gonna do is, as you're pushing, you're gonna curl your toes down to enhance the movement, Then as you're pulling it, you're gonna curl or flex your toes towards you, okay? To enhance the movement in both directions, okay? So you're gonna feel a little stretch as you pull and curl and flex, and you'll feel a little bit of an activation in your calf as you push and curl your toes, okay? You'll feel the foot of your arch engage. So this is a ray exercise, not just for your tibia, calf, but also for the muscles in your foot and toes as well. Make sure that you keep your core tight and breathe, and then you're not compensating with any other part of your body. A lot of times during movements, you might feel your shoulders engage and shrug. Make sure to decompress those shoulders and breathe and not engage any other muscles unnecessarily.
All right, so unlike the other one, we're not doing circles. So it's the same, it's forward and backward, but yeah, again, curl as you go forward, flex as you come back. We're just not doing the circular pattern with it. So go ahead and pause this and do that. And then this next movement is going to be similar dynamics. The difference is we're going to be going from one side to the other, opposite sides, okay, left to right, as you push and pull.
All right, so this movement, we're actually gonna do two different variations of this, two different angles. So we're now doing a diagonal movement with the foot, okay? So you're gonna go forward and in, okay? And curl your toes at the very end of it, the movement. Then you're gonna, as you pull your foot back, you're gonna flex your toes and go out, okay? So down and in, flex the toes, up and out, and flex the toes. Sorry, down and in, curl the toes, flex the toes, up and out, okay? And we're gonna do that one. And when you're done with your count, we're gonna switch to the other direction, okay? So you're gonna go down and out, up and in. So we're gonna reverse what you just did, okay? So down and out, up and in, okay? Down and out, up and in, okay? So you're gonna curl your toes as you're pushing down and out, flex them up as you're coming up and in, okay? So with both of these, make sure to keep your shoulders decompressed, core engaged. You're just supporting your foot with your hands. Other leg can be bent or straight. It's really up to you. And then the key with this one is as you push it, you're gonna go down and out, up and in, then you'll reverse that. You'll go down and in, up and out, making sure that you're curling your toes.
All right, so let's go ahead and do that one. It can be a little confusing, but basically, once you're ready, you're gonna go down and in, okay? And that's when you're gonna flex, curl your toes, okay? Then you're gonna go up and out, and then flex them, and then you'll reverse that. So you'll go out and in, out and down, curl them, up and in, and flex them, okay? So we're doing different movements of the ankle. Now, after you do that one, okay, I want you to reassess your body, okay? I want you to, again, do the walk, okay? Let your feet plant. And then I want you to see how your feet are, okay? Are they more aligned? Are they still out of alignment? Check your weight distribution, okay? Are you distributing your weight more evenly than before? Are you feeling more balanced? Are you feeling like you're standing taller or straight up? Okay, how do you feel? Okay, why do you think that is? Okay, now you should see some improvement with these. Now these are exercises, but everyone's body is different. So you might need specific, I hope they helped you, and I know they will. But depending on what's going on in your body, you might need more customized approach depending on the movement inefficiency in your body. So that is the presentation today for how to look, feel, and perform your very best so you can live an upgraded life. So I hope that helps. And if you're want to join the thousands of our clients who have ditched the pills, found an alternative to surgery, and finally feel better for being able to do their favorite activities with the people they love, living life without limits, then please reach out to us. We would love to help. A couple next steps is that, if you're, still skeptical about what this whole movement method is about, then please go to movementstretch.com. Click the link, go there. We have so many client kind of stories on there with different, issues from, knee pain to back pain, foot pain to all the way from goals of, just wanting to move pain-free to, an athlete like Matt who wanted to move pain-free so he could go and we were able to help him get ready for his sport and make his football team as the quarterback. So go ahead and read those testimonials so you can really see, how it applies for you. So if you need more guidance, we have a really special offer for you to schedule your first movement therapy experience. You can do an online, Zoom therapy, or you can come in person for your therapy. Only $29 if you book it. Right now, after watching this presentation, we have 5 spots available for this very special offer. So take advantage of this. After that, it will be $49 if you do not, book it within 7 days of this presentation. So, and if you're ready to begin your transformation, schedule it right now and you'll get 10% off your therapy program. Plus, you'll get your first session for free. Okay, so we'll waive your first session for free, give you 10% off one of our programs. But either way, come in for your first session. If you want to join the program, then we'll waive that first session. If you don't, it'll just be $29. That way, when you do come in, what we'll be doing is assessing your body, talking to you about your goals, what you're experiencing in your body, and then we'll go through and assess you to see and identify those movement inefficiencies. And then we'll begin your first treatment. So we'll be doing some assisted, stretches. We'll be doing some different movements that we'll coach you through to help you to go deeper in our assessment, as well as help you and show you what you can do to resolve that pain and give you, instant relief from our treatment. And then at the end of that first experience, we'll recommend a plan for you on what exactly your body needs to become pain-free, eliminate that pain, and just optimize your movement, resolving all your inefficiencies in your body. That way you can become bulletproof, safeguard your body against injury, and just, live life physically free. Okay. And so book your session right now. And remember, please don't wait till it's too late. Don't wait till it's so big that you don't have a choice, to where you have to, get surgery and completely, like it's a bigger endeavor than you really want. Come in for a session so we can help you identify what's going on. We would love to help you as much as you can. So don't miss out on this very special offer. Again, we only have 5 spots left for the $29 for your first experience. So don't miss out on feeling your very best today. So with that, hope you have a great day. I hope you feel upgraded. I hope you feel like you're standing taller, lighter, moving more fluidly. And please, if we can help you in any way, please reach out by going to our website or clicking the link down below on this page somewhere. With that, I hope you have a wonderful day.